Multiple different sections of not only the federal government, but also private industry have been affected by what is being described as one of the biggest hacks in a very long time. It's being called Sunburst, and apparently it is something that was being worked on for a number of months. The entire scope of it, we don't really know. Experts are saying it could take years to figure out exactly how many different things were infected with this. But some of them that we already know about seem pretty significant, including that agencies within the Department of Energy, including portions of the agency charged with maintaining the nation's nuclear weapons stockpile, were breached as part of the hack. It hit almost a dozen federal agencies, again, that we know of, at least at this point. But at this point, the investigation has found that the malware has been isolated to business networks only and has not impacted the mission essential national security functions at the department, including the National Nuclear Security Administration. So when you hear that hackers have hit the thing that manages the nukes, you think, oh, they definitely broke in and stole nukes. As of right now, it does not appear that that happened. They didn't gain any access to prematurely launch the nukes, at least that is being admitted. So this is scary, and we have more on this, including a number of private companies that were breached. But Ben and Aaron, this is the first I'm actually covering this story, but it's been in the news for a couple of days now, and a lot of people are concerned about some of the long-term damage that could have been done that we don't even necessarily know about at this point.
Right. So the damage, I'm not sure it's, again, like you said, it may take years to understand the full scope of it. But I do think it signifies the fact that maybe America doesn't have its priorities right. And all the money that we're spending dropping bombs in the Middle East and funding terror in Yemen, maybe we should look at cybersecurity just a little bit more, because that is the forefront of competition on the international stage. And if we can't figure out how to cooperate on the international stage, the United States really needs to bring its head out of its drones and take care of business at home.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit less Space Force and more cyber Space Force, because we do not need to be sending rockets to the moon and spending trillions of dollars exploring other planets, as exciting as it is to watch on an episode of Nova. What we need to be doing is investing in making sure that our systems are protected. And it sort of was, it's like funny, like not funny, haha to me, funny like you wily Russians. But we did just have an election that everybody in charge of the election keeps saying was like very secure. Everyone was looking out for foreign interference in the election, and it looks like we did it successfully. Meanwhile, while we were looking in this hand, the Russians were over here getting into our nuclear administration. So I feel a little bit like they kind of pulled one over on us. They let us have our election, and then meanwhile they were doing some other tomfoolery. This does worry me a lot, though. I think that it's another reason that it's concerning that so many of the people who are in charge of really important jobs are, and I don't want to sound ageist here, even though it's going to sound a little ageist, are of an age where they don't grow up understanding and having a literacy when it comes to technology. It's like most departments, most powerful people in Washington are probably people who have their emails printed out for them. They're not people who really understand troubleshooting or technology. And so I think it's important to get more people who understand security to prioritize cybersecurity and to think about things in computer terms rather than like meat space terms, which seems like the way that most DC people want to think.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk recently, and so the reference to meat space definitely hit with me. It doesn't seem like a thing that's being prioritized. I will add this on to, we were having a conversation a couple of weeks ago about the size of the defense budget. And it just seems like more than 300,000 Americans were just killed by something. We're like spending all this money on stuff that like literally can't protect against that. Like maybe we should move the money over to the thing that's actually a threat. And maybe fewer drones, maybe fewer tanks, maybe a little bit more cybersecurity. In any event, as Aaron alluded to, it is believed, the Washington Post on Sunday says that the attack is being attributed to a Russian military hacking group known as Cozy Bear. Really fast, I just want to say this is what is being alleged. We don't know for sure. It's possible that they could change their mind at some point, or it's possible that it could actually be them. This is just to ward off, like there are some people who believe that if you literally even mention the word Russia, you're advocating for war with them. I want to be very clear, not interested in going to war with Russia, just interested in covering the news. Anyway, other agencies were also hit as a result of this. Small ones like the Department of Homeland Security, the State Department, the Treasury Department, the Commerce Department, and branches of the Pentagon, which look, I was gonna say I'm not an expert, but technically I did go to grad school for poli-sci, so I guess I should have been. That's all of them. That's the big ones. Those are the ones you'd wanna hit. I mean, that's not all of them, there are others, but that's pretty much good. It's not like if you submit that to your superior, they're like, no, but you didn't hit the VA. Like, okay, that's one too, but anyway, yeah, no, it got into a lot. And again, these are the ones where it has been discovered at this point, but it is being described as being administered in a way over the course of months that showed a great deal of spycraft and patience. And so again, we don't know for sure that some of it, things that might have been planted or things that might have been taken, haven't yet been discovered.
Yeah, you know, when I hear Cozy Bear, it's such a confusing name. I picture the bear on the package of chamomile, like sleepy time tea, wearing, like sitting in the recliner, wearing its little hat, hacking into our national security infrastructure. But you know, seriously, it's really alarming that it hit all the big ones like this. And I think we're in a moment of such crisis that when I first saw this story, I was like, my brain was like, nope, I can't process this right now. I can't, this is too much. This is a hat on a hat in terms of the American story of 2020. We can cut this from the story arc of this season. That is too much. I'm very concerned, and I hope that our investigation into what happened and what was affected isn't hindered by political egos who want to make sure that they don't come out of here looking like fools, even though they should come out of here looking like fools if the full truth comes out.
And I was just, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jen.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Oh, okay. It must have been an echo. I was going to say that the other thing that concerns me, especially Aaron, what you said about the generation gap, is that the type of response that the other generations have towards this, and it was in a lot of literature in regards to cybersecurity, is that they are starting to argue that a cyber attack warrants a full military response. And that puts us in a very dangerous position when you have such hawkish people with a mindset that may not understand that we could prevent and counteract it with other cyber attacks, but don't go to war over a cyber attack. And I think the language is starting to move in that direction, at least it has over the last few years. And we have to really be careful of that eventuality.
Right, like if your mail keeps getting stolen, you put a lock on your mailbox.
Exactly.
You don't burn your neighbor's house down.
Exactly.
You know, we make sure that we secure the things that need to be secured rather than attacking the people that are responsible for exploiting weaknesses in our system.
Exactly.
Yeah. The current situation is, you know, when it came to election security and things like that, Donald Trump with the Republican Party had no interest. And we can speculate about exactly why, but they weren't interested in it. He's not even acknowledging that this hack actually happened, even though in theory, he could talk about it and say, well, so much has been compromised. He could use that to sort of try to push his election fraud conspiracy theories, but he's not. He's not using something that could play into literally the only thing he's thinking about right now. So that really does make you wonder. So there's that. There's a government that literally won't even put a lock on the mailbox to continue that metaphor. And then there's some hypothetical president who would go to war with Russia. I don't want that either. But there's some sort of middle ground where we protect ourselves and we stop, you know, some of the most important aspects of our government from being invaded. And not just the government, also apparently more than 400 of the US Fortune 500 companies were also affected in some fashion. What fashion? I don't know. I'm not sure that anyone does, but we'll be finding out along the way.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.